Hello everyone, welcome to the first map in our Valorant map walkthrough, complete with callouts. We're going to be going over Bind today. These videos are intended for anyone who's new to the game to get a walkthrough of each map and also some of the more important callouts to be making. It's really important to communicate in a game like Valorant, and I don't know about you, but I hate having teammates either don't communicate or when they do, they say the wrong thing and that causes you to make the wrong play as well. So these videos are going to help you not be one of those teammates. So first things first, every map that they've launched with Valorant so far comes with this map overview that if you hold caps lock by default that you can access. It also has the labels of some of the names of different areas of the map, which is interesting, but the reason I bring this up is because a lot of these names have been basically rewritten by the community. So the people that have been playing for 2 months now that the beta's been out have just labeled basically everything all across all 3 of these maps, and most of them are completely different from what you see on this map overview right here. So this is useful to get like a bird's eye view of the map and how it flows, but do not rely on this for the labels because they're not going to be what you hear in a real online game of Valorant. First of all, this is what the spike looks like. If you're new to the game, this is the bomb that we're trying to plant on the attacker side.
I got the spike.
Right now we're here in attacker side spawn. You're really rarely going to hear attacker side spawn. It's usually just called spawn or T-spawn because in Counter-Strike, terrorists are the attackers. Let's move over here towards the A side of the map. So we're coming just out of our spawn. This right here is called tunnel. You can see it goes all the way over to the other side as well, which we'll loop back around and we'll come look at that from the other side too. So our spawn opens up out over here into this area that is pushing towards the A site. This area is commonly referred to as FAUCET because of this faucet right here, vines because of that, or a lot of times it just be outside bathrooms. The area that we're in right here is called bathrooms, this whole tiled area. So if a defender maybe is pushed up right here, they're kind of peeking out to where the attackers are going to be. This is called that outside bathrooms. This orb right here is called a capture orb that when you press F on it and hold it, it gives you 1 point towards your ult. But you heard that noise that it makes, and that's pretty audible for a good ways for both attackers and defenders. So if you hear that, you know that someone is on it, and they're pretty vulnerable to getting shot while they're capturing that orb. Coming out of our spawn towards the A side, but heading to the left right here, we're going to come up A stairs, which connects right here into A mid, which I'll talk about when I wrap around through the A site. And also an area of note right here is the A ledge, which sometimes is used to hold for flanks, or if somebody's in a post plant, there's some interesting set nades you can throw, mollies and things like that onto where the bomb is planted so that defenders can't defuse it. So this is A ledge right here. So we've gone through faucet into bathrooms. It's also referred to as showers. And now we're pushing out onto the A site. First of all, there's not a really common name that I've heard for this close right corner outside of showers besides just exactly that, close right corner. If you're attacking, you're coming through, maybe you're clearing right here, you're looking at that, and then you die by someone who's sitting right there or he's on top of this box. You know, you can signal to your teammate by saying close right corner outside of bathrooms or showers, and that's a pretty understood that this covers this whole area. This is the A site. The plant radius is anywhere inside this white/yellow line that goes all the way in this big sort of U shape around there. This specific spot right here is called default. What that means is just like a default location to plant the bomb. And that's because in general, that's a pretty safe place to plant because really the only places you can get shot from are them pushing you really close right here on either side. And you should have teammates that are covering you like that. You can also plant, like I said, anywhere inside this yellow line. This is another really common plant spot behind this truck right here. By the way, this is called truck or APC or tank or van. Most commonly I would say truck, but you can see this wheeled vehicle right here. That's how that gets its name. This A, where I talked about the plant, default plant right here, this is also called site or TETRIS because of the 4-block Tetris square thing that it has going on. Also, this is referred to as gate because of the massive gate right here, or just close sight corner. I mean, not a lot of people usually play gate like this, but they'll be in the close corner right here. Moving on over to the other part of the other side of the site over here, this is called U-Haul. Because of the U shape right here, it also has a U shape right here as well. You can see this on the map. That U right there and that U right here. Now, some people, you can see here it says A lamps. Some people do still refer to this as lamps. So if you hear the call out lamps, you need to know that this is right here, but U-Haul is an extremely common call out. U-Haul also kind of extends to right here. If somebody calls U-Haul, let's say I'm coming over here, for example, I'm on the attacking side, I'm pushing up, and I see someone right here, like I'm gonna call U-Haul because they're holding this right here, and if they see you, they can either continue to hold right here and probably die, or they're gonna be falling back right into U-Haul. So that's this corner right here. These boxes are double stack boxes, so they're either double stack corner, double stack on the site, or double stack on short A, which is this entire area right here. Short A comes all the way up and down this area. More specifically, this is referred to sometimes as carpets because of these carpets right here. But again, if you are on either side defending or attacking and you hear short A corner or something, like he's probably going to be right in here. This is the teleporter. I'm going to touch on this at the end of the video because it's a really interesting mechanic that kind of deserves its own attention. So moving back through the site, A site, you know, this can be referred to also as back site, behind truck because of this truck right here. They can be jump peeking this or anything like that. We move into this area called sometimes pipes because of the pipes on the ceiling, but also more commonly referred to as CT. So we'll just go look really quick here. This is the defender's side spawn. Bringing over that Counter-Strike theme, this is also really, really commonly referred to as CT because the counter-terrorists are the defenders in Counter-Strike. So when you're coming through here, you're kind of just like CT extended. So for example, if you're on the A site, your team's attacking, you've taken over the A site, you can either call out heaven or you can call out CT, and it should be pretty well understood that CT means they're coming from right there. Speaking of heaven, that's this area, including this ramp all the way up to this upper area right here. This is called heaven. Really great spot to be able to see into showers / bathrooms or onto short A over there, like that. Now we'll run through CT spawn and go check out the B side. Once again, this is pretty commonly extended CT all the way up until probably like right here. This referred to as back hall, which wraps all the way around to elbow. This area right here is called elbow. Elbow and CT lead out right here into the B site. So once again, if you're planning anywhere inside the white / yellow line is where the bomb can be planted, and that includes inside the site right here. So you can plant it inside here. Either this or this corner are more often used to plant the bomb because you would be taking the site from either coming from here and they might be rotating through CT, or they might already be elbow or something, so you're going to want to plant default. And you can specify that it's default right side or default left side. You can also plant right in front of the site right here as well. The site kind of has different levels, so obviously this whole thing is site, inside site, back site. So if you're attackers and you see someone lurking around back site, you know, you might say, you see him jiggle peeking around, you can say he's back site. Over here, site corner, you just kind of need to use common sense to understand which of the corners they're referring to. If you're a CT, you're retaking the site after the attackers have taken over and planted. Someone calls out site corner, you know it's probably this one because they're going to be holding close like that. This is a really well-known area in this map. It's called HOOKAH. All up inside of here is called HOOKAH. HOOKAH window, drop, and drop box. And that's pretty self-explanatory. This whole place is called HOOKAH. Obviously this is the window that's leading out of HOOKAH. And you have to jump to drop out of HOOKAH if you're pushing that way. This area over here will lead out into what's called long B, or B long. And this area is called garden because of the flowers right here. That's what it says on the map that they give, and that's still pretty commonly used. But it's also referred to as arches because of these massive arches right here. Here's another teleporter. Like I said, I'm going to come back and get to that at the end. And here's the other alt orb that's on the other side of the map. Capture this to pick up your ult. Makes that big noise like I said before. Long B pushes all the way down, connects all the way to fountain right here because of this water feature fountain right here. And this also connects back into B mid and back into hookah from this side. So this is hookah. Obviously through here, and you're back into mid or B mid. If you're attackers, you want to take hookah control, you just need to, again, use some common sense with your comms. Like you can say he's close left corner in hookah, or he's right corner behind the box in hookah. I don't think there's literally a specific call out for every single angle that they could be in inside of here. Just need to use some common sense. This B mid area connects back into what's called market. It's called market because of, you know, they have these market stalls with these really colorful sands that they're selling in here, and this whole area is market that connects all the way back over to short A or A mid. So again, use some common sense when you're communicating. If you're on defense, you push a guy off right here, you know, you see he's falling back, you can calm out, he's short A, falling back to market. Your team needs to know that he could just hide right here and reload and re-peek, or he could literally run all the way back over here and be kind of shading towards B now and be in B mid. Market as well as B long, which I'll just show you the way it connects right here. Here's fountain to B long. You come out of this arch right here from market. This connects back into the other side of the tunnel that I referenced at the beginning of the video, and then back into T-spawn over here. Now let's talk about the teleporters, because they are a really unique and interesting dynamic that Riot has added to this game, and actually this map specifically only. So let's pull up the overview map here. You can see where I'm standing outside of the B teleporter, outside of the B site. This green line shows exactly where I'm going to go when I take this teleporter. So if I run in here, I've TP'd from B, and now you can see I'm outside of A, outside of bathrooms. Interesting thing to note about these doors is that they're, first of all, one-way doors. They only open from the person who's inside of the teleporter. And then a little bit of distance will make them close again. If you run out and then they close, you can't open them from walking up to it from the outside. The other teleporter is located over here on A short, and it takes you, as you can see, directly back into B mid right outside of hookah. Same thing with these doors. They're one-way doors, open from the inside only. You can't open them by pushing from the outside right here. What these teleporters do is provide a really interesting dynamic for both offensive pushes and defensive rotations. So if I'm on offense and I'm pushing the B site through long, maybe I have a couple teammates that are in hookah, they're making some noise. We're pushed out here, we've cleared garden, we got a couple kills on the site. It's pretty likely that whoever's defending the site is going to make a call out, hey, there's a lot of activity over here on B, I think they're coming B. So somebody from A might come rotating through CT to come to B. Basically you can fake a lot of noise over here by B and then hop in the teleporter and book it over to A and plant over here instead. Same thing can be said if you're pushing short A, take control of this area. Maybe they're pushing you back, or they killed one of your teammates or something. You're like, they're probably rotating from B through CT over to A now. We can take this TP and book it over to B and plant over on B instead. It also makes for some interesting rotations on the defensive side. Let's say you're alone on B, you're defending here by yourself, there's nothing going on, you hear a lot of shooting and you see a lot of bad guys on your map over on the A site. You can do a quick rotate through teleporter and be maybe behind them, depending on what they're doing. If they're not watching behind them, then you can make that flank. Same thing if they're pushing B and you're on A, you can take this A teleporter for a quick rotation. One thing to note, if you heard that noise that happens when you go through the teleporter, that's really loud and audible. So even if somebody is attacking, they're like all over the B site, or they're in hookah or whatever, or even if they're like back elbow already, you take that teleporter to flank, they're gonna know and they can hold you in here basically. Or just be aware that you're coming behind them. So it's not like a completely free rotation. The other thing to note about these teleporters is that abilities can go through them. So I'm using Jet to record this video. I can throw my smoke through the teleporter, and here it is. And it opened up the door for me as well. This is really common for Sova to send arrows through or a drone through. Raze can throw a grenade. If your Raze is here defending A and your teammates call out that there's a lot of activity in hookah, she can chuck her nade through, and it's supposed to open up this, and it can sometimes bounce into hookah and get some kills by opening up the door like that. Last thing I want to note about this map, and it applies to every map actually as well, is that a lot of these raised surfaces can be accessed by champ abilities like Jet's Q right there, or Sage Wall, or Raze Blast Pack to get onto high level areas of the site. So when you're taking things, let's say you're pushing out of garden right here to take B, you know that they can be up there. And speaking of which, that and right here in the left corner is a very common angle to be holding for somebody defending B. Same thing applies over on A. Jet or whoever else can be up on top of the truck. They can be up on top of the site right here. They can be on top of this double stack box right here. Pretty much anywhere that's elevated. Realistically, any champ can get up there because they can get boosted up by Sage Wall, but it's more common to have Jet, Raze, and Omen as the ones that are solo able to take over an elevated surface like this. So that's pretty much it, everyone. Thank you for watching this video. This has been a walkthrough with callouts of Bind. If you learned something from the video, you liked what you heard and saw, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. If there's something that you think I got wrong, or there's another name that you use for a specific area that I didn't mention, feel free to leave a comment and we can incorporate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you next time.